Okay, what is going on YouTube? Matt again from Palms Productions Sound and Lighting. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you this side of the room like I promised. This is the mixer that I'm using for right now. It's an analog, 12 channel, 4 subgroups. Basically all that means is there are 8 stereo channels and there's 2 mono channels, which means you can put left and right into these channels. You can pan them, you can do all that fun stuff, but it's only taking up 1 channel. Has 4 subgroups, and we'll get into that in a second. You're going to hear this all over the place. Basically, if you can master 1 channel, you can pretty much master them all. So it does look kind of confusing if you're just getting started and you're looking at all this and say, wow, it's a lot of buttons. But pretty much, you know, and definitely go and check other YouTube videos too, other tutorials. That's pretty much how I learned to do a lot of this stuff. Just practicing myself, experimenting with things, so on. So what we're going to do is we're just going to work with channel 1 here, and I have a Audix OM2 microphone, and I already set the gain, but I want to show you what that looks like. Put this up to 0 dB, which is unity. I want to make sure everything's good. Okay. We're going to start from the top here. I have the microphone cable going into channel 1. This is a TRS cable, which is tip ring sleeve, which means what happens is the my voice, well, you'll see in a second, my voice is going to go through the cable into channel 1. That signal is going to come out of channel 1, go into my closet over here, and I have that going into a compressor. And because it's basically a stereo cable, it's going in, coming out, and going right back in again. Next thing here is the gain. I want to show you what that looks like. Okay, so we're going to put this at 0 dB, and we're going to go up. And you see that little light flashing there? That means that we're going to peak. And if that was going through the PA system right now, that'd be creating all kinds of distortion. So we're going to back that off until it's either barely, barely coming on, and we're going to back off, you know, just a little bit more. And the thing you want to keep in mind if you're doing sound, if you have a speaker or anyone that's going to be using the microphone, tell them to speak or to sing as loud as they're going to for the entire evening, and set it at that level, because you can always move this up as long as this is set perfect, or you know, as close to perfect as possible. Because what happens is when a performer comes on stage for the actual performance, statistically, they're going to talk, at least in the beginning, they're going to talk or they're going to sing a little softer than what they probably are going to be as they go through the performance. So when they do that, just back off the gain a little bit more, because you can always raise the volume later on. Never touch the gain later on. Once you have it set, leave it there. Just make sure you have a little bit of headroom there. Have the EQ. I'll get into that a little bit later. Then you have your little auxes. I'll get into that later. And now we're at the subgroups. I have the button pushed for subgroup 1 and 2, which is over here. Now we're not going to get any kind of sound yet because I don't have the stereo up. So I'm going to wait till the next video here. I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to show you what it sounds like once it comes out the PA. Okay, and welcome back. The only reason why I'm doing these in parts is because my digital camera only does HD video in 5 minutes at a time. So I'm going to split it up every 4 minutes and 45 seconds or so. Okay, so we set the gain, we pick the subgroup, we have this up to unity, we have these up to unity. So let me turn this down. Alright, so we're getting the signal here. That means that everything is going smooth. Alright, let me actually raise that up a little bit. Okay, so now you want to stay in the green, yellow, that kind of thing. This is normal voice or whatever. Okay. I'm trying to talk quiet because I want to, well, whatever. And now you don't want to go into the red because just like I said, if you're in the red over here, it's going to create distortion. Same thing over here. If it's in the red, it's going to create distortion. All right. Now, for these purposes, because I have another mixer here, and that has an iPod and other stuff, I have this actually going into this through one of the mono channels. So let me turn this down a little bit because I have everything up kind of loud. So I have this going in here. So as I raise, there we go. Okay, so now that is going through the PA system. Now, I want to show you one thing over here. Like I said, in the auxes, now you can set your EQ. That's, you got your high, mid, low, that kind of thing. Over here, for aux 2, I actually have that coming out of aux 1. So the signal comes from here, go blah, 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 over here. Okay, so now I'm sending this signal to aux 1. So it's going out of aux 1 into an effects processor, to Lexicon, and that's coming back into the board and coming back over here into the effects section of the board, and it's actually routing that signal from channel 1 through the compressor back into here, out of the board into the effects processor, back into the board, out of the board into this mixer, out of this mixer, into the amp, out of the amp, through the speakers, and so on. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can hear, like I have like a little, like a reverb kind of thing. Both of these mixers have it already, but I just want to show you for live purposes. So say you have your lead vocals, you have 3 backup singers, and they all want a little bit of that reverb. Well, instead of having 4 different signal processors in your rack, you just use one, and you just say, okay, I want this channel to have a little bit, want this to have a little bit, and so on. So, okay. Well, that's, I don't know. All right, we're going to end here until I can mess with some stuff over here. I'm going to show you something really super cool. All right, so just hang on a second.